Hey, I'm Mark.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome to the right side. Alright guys, hope you had a really good Christmas. We did, even though it's not Christmas yet because we're filming this before and we're absolutely lying to you and fooling you, honest.
Yeah, the magic of cinema.
Something
like that.
Anyway, we have seen Star Wars and we're not going to say anything about it because there will be people that haven't yet, just other than it's epic. Twice, right?
I thought it was alright. No, it was amazing. Honestly,
Yes.
if you haven't seen it yet,
go see it. Go
insane.
see it.
You're
Just
insane.
go and see it. So today we are doing our first full one-day build, or rather Mike is, and I will be watching him. Currently, his dog is down at the tripod of the camera, chasing his tail and growling at himself, which is.
He's chewing his paw.
He's chewing his own paw. He's chewing his own paw. So while he's chewing his own paw, what we're going to do is we're going to go through into the workshop and we're going to start showing you what we're doing to build the Mouse Droid.
Mouse Droid, yeah. Mouse Droid that you've probably seen on the Death Star in the first film, you know, Chewie growls at it, it buzzes away. And although it's not a spoiler, I was really happy to see that the First Order are still using them in the film, so
Yeah,
keep your eye
right.
out for that in the movie.
Yes, that's right, there is. So, right, we'll leave Boba, who you'll probably see on camera at some point, to chew his own foot, and we'll jump next door and get this started. We're through next door and Mikey's workshop, and we are going to have a chat about what he's doing for the build today. So, we got the Mouse Droid from the Death Star, and it's going to be based on a modified remote control car.
Yeah, pretty much it's a really basic remote control car that you can buy in any shop. I just tried to look for one that would be roughly the same dimension of the Mouse Droid in the film. What I'm going to build isn't going to be a complete 100% movie accurate replica because I'm doing it in a day, and you need to like skip on some of the smaller details which can really be really time consuming. So I'm just trying to base it as closely as I can on what's in the film, and yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to start working on the top half of the Mouse Droid. It looks, you know, it's a nice boxy shape. It's got a good steep front angle at the front, slight angle at the back, and it's got a ridge that goes all the way around the middle of it, which separates the two halves. So the first part I'm going to do is going to work out the ridge. Basically, I've already set this up so that it will match up to the wheels of the car, so it's not going to it's going to be the same width as the radio control car itself. So basically, I've marked out the size I need. It's probably going to be slightly smaller than the one that's been used on film. Again, that's just due to the limitations of the car that I bought, but it's still going to be pretty close to it. And right, so marked it out, got my angles all nice, nice sharp blade. Metal ruler, can't stress that enough as well. If you are going to use blades, always use a metal ruler because plastic, it's gone, ruined your ruler. Right, so that's my first part. Now the foam core that I'm using is only, let me see, it's only 5mm thick. The front edge we want to be a little bit chunkier, so that's why I'm cutting out two halves. I'm going to glue it together, and like I was saying about making any little mistakes, if there's any little extra ridges once you've glued the two halves together, again it's going to get sanded back, it's going to be rounded off, and if I do make any dings in it I'll just fill it. So just makes it a wee bit more rigid. So, two sections of the ridge should be pretty much identical. These are just going to get super glued together just to give it a bit more thickness. So it's now going to be 10mm thick. It'll be a lot more sturdier. When I build the top half of it and form the box shape, I'm going to use hot glue for that because I'll be able to get into the angles, it'll dry quick, and then I can put a bead on the inside so it'll keep it nice and together. For these, I'm going to use super glue instead of hot glue. The reason being is I want these to be as close as possible. When you use hot glue, you sometimes will get maybe a millimetre of a gap. So I'm going to use super glue just to get these two halves together, and it is easy as just one big line all the way around. Boom. Line up one corner. Taking some reference from the photographs that I found online, I've roughly worked out the angles, the height that the top half's going to have to be. Like I said, it's not going to be 100% movie accurate, but it's going to be as close as possible. So, just get this marked up. So, there's my two halves, and it works out pretty well. Now, the next stage is to set it up with your base ridge that you've already done. Now, it can sometimes be good to get it in a rough position. Oh, it's wrong out. You can see it's already starting to take shape. We're getting the rough look of what the droid is. Hey guys, we really hope you're enjoying the build so far. I am Marquez and so is Boba.
Just check out everything we're doing on the Facebook page, which is / the Right Side Show. Keep up to date with everything that's going on, future builds and news of what we're up to.
Yeah, I've got all the parts cut out for the box section for the Mouse Droid. We've got side panels, front and back panel, and a top plate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the side panels to the top plate, but I'm going to do it quite simply, just so that it's just going to be a small bead of glue holding it in place, so that I can make the angled wedges that are then going to get attached to the inside to make sure you've got exactly the same angle on both sides of the box. So let's get cracking on that. Now if you're wanting to get a nice angle, even angle on both sides, it's good to have a wee protractor handy. It just gives you the exact angle that you need. And I need, that goes back to front. That's going to be 75 degree angle. Nice wee 75 degree angle there. So here we are at this stage, a wee bit of rejigging here and there, but as you can see we've got a basic shape for the top half of the droid, and it's starting.
When he
to
says
look the part.
rejigging, he made an absolute muck up of the angle.
Angles.
Just saying.
Mistakes happen. Hey, we're all human, but you know, not the end of the world. You can fix it. You can do it.
So how did you fix it?
I just cut it away. I cut it back just a couple of millimetres. It was the little angled wedges that I put in were just slightly off, so I just cut them back by a few millimetres, and that fixed the angle that I needed. And now it's solid. You can see on it now inside. Yeah, I'm just going to finish off gluing some of the side pieces, and I'm going to put some beads of glue around the inside just to make it a bit more sturdy. And then we can get cracking on the bottom half, which will be built in exactly the same way as I've done this. Just try to compensate for the wheels, make sure that they've got a good turning arc. But yeah, we'll get to that pretty much. Not long. Ding! By the magic of the internet, here's my bottom half. Now the bottom half was constructed in exactly the same way as the top half. Got my two-part for the edge section, worked out my angles for the bottom half. Now this is where it sort of loses its movie accuracy actually. The depth here isn't as much as it is in the film. Sorry, it's bigger than it is in the film, but that's to compensate for the size of the wheels on the car. Basic platform again, and I've got my little angled sections on the inside. My dog is squeaking a ball! Give me that! Give me you.
Especially with you.
Go on! Go on! Get! Oh, he's looking at me real sad. Come on up! Come on! Lie down. Good boy. Squeaker. So yeah, I've got all these parts put together. So I'm now going to introduce you to the car. So here we go. It didn't come like this obviously, it came with a basic flimsy plastic body which was easy to remove. There wasn't even any screws involved, just came off with a couple of little pins at the front. I've seen some people do quite elaborate ways of attaching the body to the car that they've maybe done. Because all the materials we're using are really lightweight, you don't need to put too much on them, so all I've done is I've super glued a couple of parts of the foam core on here to act as a small riser for the wheels, but also a platform that I can then secure it to. And essentially your area will fit through this little hole here. And it sits perfectly in position there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill a couple of little screws through the foam core for the base section and then into the car where I've put the two bits of card. There we go. That is that securely attached. Got four nice big screws going through that, and it's actually going into the plastic body as well. But it's not interfering with any of the mechanical parts underneath. Now, this is again like I was saying earlier on about how the wheels are different. Obviously, this is like an off-road radio controlled car, so the wheels are a lot bigger, a lot more chunkier than what they are in the actual film. The front wheels themselves are usually hidden away slightly, and then the back wheels stick out, but they're a lot smaller. But you know, it's for a bit of fun. This is going to be a good little piece to use about. So the next step is we need to attach the top half to the bottom half, and I'm just going to do that simply with Velcro. I'm going to attach the hook section to one part, also the lip to the other, and it'll keep it nice and secure because there's no weight to the top, so when the car's flying around it's not going to come flying off. But also means we'll have easy access for anything that we want to put on the inside at a later date. So I'm just going to grab my Velcro and we'll get on with that. Okay, so the Velcro I'm using is standard stuff you can buy. It's maybe what, 2.5 centimeters thick. There's two parts to this. The first part has got a sticky back. You can get them where the both sections are sticky back and it just sticks straight onto whatever you're using. The stuff I bought, unfortunately I wasn't looking at the packet, came with a sew side. So this is supposed to be sewn onto your product, and then the sticky stuff goes on the other side. If you do have this and this is all you've got and you don't have the sticky stuff, you can still glue it, but you have to sand or score the back side of the Velcro, and that is basically because there's no pores to this. So if you use glue on it, it won't adhere. Hot glue will dry and then it will just peel off. Super glue as well will dry and then just peel off. You have to have a surface that's got a little bit of texture to it. That's the same for anything you've got. If you're gluing anything to anything, it has to be a little bit of surface for it to really hold properly. So I'm just going to get one of my trusty sanding sticks. An 80 grit should do, just something rough and coarse just to give the back of it a little bit of texture. There we go. I don't need to do the full thing because I'm only going to put a couple of inches on each corner, and that was just enough to hold it.
One of the builds that we are going to work on is coming from 3D artistry right through to physical product that Mike is actually going to finish off and make it look like the actual prop, which is going to be
Han Solo's DL-44 blaster.
that guy. I'm going to build it in 3D. We're then going to print it out on a 3D printer, each of the different components, get it all combined together, finish it off. Mikey's going to make it look absolutely film authentic. That's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see it from a blank screen on a computer through to an actual finished product. Keep an eye out for that. It's going to be ace.
Now that we've finished the main bulk of the prop, it's time to move on to the fiddly part, the bit that is the most time consuming, and that is adding all the little bits of detail that you see along the top here. The little arrays that they have at the top and the little circuit boards they have on each side. Now obviously I don't have the time to make that exact like that, 'cause there's so much detail in that, it's ridiculous. They've used actual microchips, circuit boards, just you know, tons of little electrical parts that A, I can't really get my hands on, B, I don't really want to make from scratch all those little components. So what I'm going to make them out of is just things that you would find around your home, or things you can buy really cheaply and just change up a little bit. So I'm going to start with the array at the top here. The array sits in a little cradle, and I'm going to make the little cradle just out of a material called styrene. Now it's just a foam, plastic sheet. That's all styrene really is, and you can heat form it and you can also cut it. Now when you cut styrene, unlike other materials like, you know, foam core or foam X, which is another type of plastic, all you need to do with styrene is score it. So if you score it a couple of times, the part's big enough, it just snaps away. Easy as that. It's really good if you are cutting just straight edge things like this. You can do tons of stuff in no time at all. So I'm going to make the cradle out of this stuff. The little bits that stick up, the little array, I've got a little collection of pen tops. So just standard biro pen tops. I'm also going to use fuses, plug fuses. And you can't really see them in the picture there, but there are larger circular elements, and I'm going to use marker tops. So that will help spread it all out. The marker tops were a little bit big, so I've had to cut them down a bit and sand them just to keep them nice and flat. And then I'm going to build a cradle around them. I'm going to put that in the stilts, and I'm going to do 2 of each and slap them right on the top. So I'm just going to get cracking. Here's the sections I cut out. My back section here, a little front and the bottom, and basically just with styrene, Foamex, foam core, the best glue, and the less, the best glue for this is super glue. So I've super glued them all together, and I did 2 of each, and I've got my 2 cradles for all the components, and now I'm going to start putting the little bits in. We've fast forwarded a little bit, and as you can see, I have now built the arrays. I've built 2 of them. They are identical apart from the little bits of detail I've put on the back. So that's the use of the pen tops, little pen lids, the fuses, and the marker pen lids, all sitting nicely glued in place in the cradle. I've added the end pieces of the biros that I chopped up. And what they're going to do is they're going to act as anchors, because I'm going to fix this into the foam core before I glue anything down, and that'll just give me a nice chance to position it. I'll be able to move it backwards and forwards, see where it's going to sit, and it'll give it a good anchor point, so these won't come flying off when it's buzzing about the place. Okay, so before we affix the arrays onto the top, they sit on little platforms. One is higher than the other, so I'm just going to glue these in place. They sit roughly about there, and then we'll attach the arrays right into those bits there. And I'm just going to use super glue. And a pen. used the end of the biros to form the stand, but there's two reasons for that, because I've left the pen nib in, which allows me to mark exactly where the holes are going to be. I'm just going to push through with a nice screwdriver to give us something to sit in. Et voila! Two arrays in place. The next part of the detail that we have to add to the Mouse Droid is the circuit board at the side. Now, in the film they used an actual circuit board, lots of little microchips and little electronic components, which I frankly can't get my hands on. So I've made my own version of the circuit board, and it's really simplified. If you compare what I've just made to the actual model, you'll see what I'm talking about. But for all intents and purposes and for aesthetic reasons, it still looks pretty good. So this is one side that I've created, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did it by making the other side. So here we go. So what I'm using in place of the circuit board is just a thing I found in an art store. It's called plastic canvas. I'm not entirely sure what you would actually use it for. If there's another craft that it's required for, I'm not sure, but this is going to be my circuit board. I'm then using styrene, like you saw before when I was making the cradles for the array. I'm going to use that to make the actual microchips out of. I'm using thinner variations of styrene to make the actual panel itself that everything is going to stick onto. So again, like I said earlier on, styrene is really easy to cut. You just make your score mark, make sure it's all level, bend with your hands and it'll snap out in place. So, beginning of the circuit board. This, like everything else I've been making today, gets a good slathering of super glue just to hold that in place. And now the fun part. On the circuit board there are little raised fins at each side. I couldn't find anything that mirrors that, so I've had to make it myself. It's really just 5mm strips of the thicker styrene glued together in a U shape and then stuck onto the panel. So.
as we said earlier, check out the Facebook page /The Right Side Show for things that we have coming up, but we want you guys to put your input in as well.
Yeah, so basically we want to know the sort of things you want to see from us. I mean, we know some of the things we want to do, but is there anything out there you guys want? Do you want to see a certain weapon getting made? Do you want to see a bit of animation? Do you want to learn how to make things? Just let us know. Put your comments down below and we'll see what we can get sorted for you. Et voila. Built in a day.
That's ridiculous. So that's the Mouse Droid built in a day from our remote control car.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. That's really good.
Can't wait to get it painted.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is on New Year's Day we're going to put out the second part of this build, which will be finishing it, painting it, and yeah, getting it weathered and getting it looking the actual proper part. I don't know.
Yeah. Although it's not 100% movie accurate in terms of how it's made, but we want to get the finish as close to it is in the movie as possible. So a lot of people just paint it with a flat black and then leave it, but no, we want to add dirt, we want to add grime, we want this thing to look like Stormtroopers will be kicking it from top to bottom of the Death Star.
Which pretty much is a sad life of a Mouse Droid.
Yeah, sad life of a Mouse Droid. So yeah, that's going to come part 2 of the Mouse Droid build, and we're going to get this bad boy painted up.
So subscribe to the channel, share it to your friends, get this shared about, get onto the Facebook page, which is The Right Side Show, and we will catch you on the first of the year. Actually, we'll see you in 2016.
Yeah, 2016, man, it's going to be a big year.
Remember, subscribe, get on the Facebook page, and we'll see you next year. Cheers.
Bye guys.